In 2003, satellite scans over a marshland in southern Spain revealed something that looked pulled straight from ancient mythology. Buried in the mud were massive concentric rings, structures that appeared to have been obliterated by a mega tsunami thousands of years ago. Treasure hunters point to similar anomalies across the globe, like the Bimini Road in the Bahamas. These precise geometric shapes on the seafloor look entirely unnatural, drawing millions of dollars in private expeditions to chase what many believe are the ruins of a lost empire. Yet, after centuries of deep-sea surveying, we have a glaring problem. We have never found a single piece of pottery, a trade ledger, or a weapon bearing the name of the Atlantean civilization. The failure to find Atlantis stems from a simple, overlooked fact. The global search for the superpower is based on a mathematical error made over 2,000 years ago. Every detail we know about Atlantis traces back to one person, the Greek philosopher Plato. He introduced the story around 360 BCE in two of his dialogues, the Timaeus and the Critias. If Plato hadn't written it down, the story wouldn't exist. Plato claimed the story was passed down from the Athenian statesman Solon, who reportedly traveled to the city of Sais in Egypt. There, an elderly priest told Solon that the Greeks were children who had forgotten their own history because of periodic natural catastrophes. The priest claimed Atlantis fell 9,000 years before Solon's time. That places the event around 9600 BCE, an era when humans were still nomadic hunter-gatherers, thousands of years before the first cities or naval fleets appeared in the archaeological record. This breakdown tracks the discrepancy between two very different ways of counting time. While the Greeks used a solar calendar based on full years, the Egyptians often measured time by the cycles of the moon. If Solon translated 9,000 lunar cycles as 9,000 solar years, the timeline is inflated by a factor of 12. Correcting the error shifts the fall of Atlantis to roughly 750 years before Solon. This mathematical correction lands the story squarely in the 12th century BCE, the era of the Bronze Age collapse. The Bronze Age collapse was a period of systemic destruction across the Mediterranean. Thriving empires burned, trade routes vanished, and survivors were left with the traumatic memories of a world ending in a single generation. One of the most violent events of this era was the eruption of Thera, known today as Santorini. Around 1600 BCE, a volcanic explosion tore the island apart, burying an entire civilization under layers of ash and pumice. The people of Thera, the Minoans, built sophisticated multi-level palaces and controlled the sea through immense wealth and naval power. Their sudden disappearance after a volcanic cataclysm mirrors the core of Plato's narrative. But Plato added a specific geographic clue, placing Atlantis just beyond the Pillars of Hercules, the ancient term for the Strait of Gibraltar. Along the Iberian coast, just past the strait, geology reveals that massive tsunamis repeatedly battered the region, leaving coastal settlements submerged in the muddy plains of the Doñana marshlands. Plato described Atlantis as sinking into a shoal of mud that made the sea impassable. The sediment-covered ruins found near Cádiz match this description with startling precision. Plato likely stitched together these traumatic historical memories, the eruption at Thera and the tsunamis of the Iberian coast, into a single composite empire. He didn't build this empire to document history, he built it to explore philosophy. The Timaeus and Critias are a tale of two cities, designed to illustrate a political theory. This comparison maps the ideological gap between the two powers. On one side stands a prehistoric Athens, disciplined, modest, and virtuous. On the other is Atlantis, greedy, expansionist, and corrupted by its own wealth. For millennia, readers understood this as a moral fable. That changed in the 19th century, when writers like Ignatius Donnelly began treating Plato's cautionary tale as a literal historical map. Chasing a physical city strips the story of its actual intent. We lose Plato's warning about political hubris and the inevitable decay that follows unchecked power. Ultimately, Atlantis is a 2,400-year-old warning about the extreme fragility of human civilization in the face of nature.